Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, it seems like every 2 or 3 weeks we have to revisit this. I don't even want to touch the Aaron Rodgers stuff. First of all, he's the biggest diva in sports right now. People think it's LeBron, but Aaron Rodgers is definitely the biggest diva. He's not the most famous because LeBron takes that by far, but Aaron Rodgers, he wanted a whole drama show. He wanted people to feel bad for him. He wanted everybody to think that he was the victim in this situation. And he's doing a great job manipulating the media. I mean, he's being dramatic. And look now, the Packers are giving him another deal that it's going to have him leave after this upcoming year. But Aaron Rodgers is not being traded for. He's not going anywhere but Green Bay, at least for this upcoming year. And he's definitely not being traded to the Giants. The Giants have their plan in place. If for some reason they end up trading for Aaron Rodgers, it won't be right now. It'll be after that 2022 season. And it'll probably be him being a free agent. And they'll have the opportunity to sign him. With a ton of picks, with a ton of draft capital, they'd be able to trade for another quarterback. Or they could just trade up and go get one in the draft. But let's not talk about the Aaron Rodgers stuff. This video is about Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is a guy who's 31. He's on the wrong side of 30. But he did start off as a Patriot. Joe Judge, of course, has that history with the Patriots. He was there, I'm pretty sure, while Chandler Jones, I was going to say Daniel Jones, but while Chandler Jones was a Patriot, Joe Judge was in the building. Logan Ryan was in the building. And they have those connections. I think Patrick Graham was even in the building. He might have been his coach at that particular time. I forgot if he was defensive line or linebackers. But I think he was probably coaching Chandler Jones in some capacity back then when Chandler Jones was still in the Patriots. The Patriots are known to not pay pass rushers big money. They're just known for not doing that. Chandler Jones was their best pass rusher probably in the last 10 years. And they didn't pay him. They traded him away. They didn't want to pay him that big money. And that's just what happens. So they moved on from him. He's been in Arizona for a while. He's had some really nice seasons. He's in his career, he's had 16 plus sack seasons. He's been very dominant for a long time. And I'm someone who definitely believes that pass rushers can continue to be elite level pass rushers until their mid-30s. Look at Brandon Graham. Look at all of the all-time great pass rushers that played for a long time. They usually were still pretty good, at least in the pass rush game, deep into their careers. But the thing is, Chandler Jones is coming off of an injury. He is getting older. And I understand that these guys, he's going to be productive somewhere. But how long are we getting him if we were to trade for Chandler Jones? Are we getting him for 2 more years? 1 more year? 3 more years? Guys can decide to retire whenever. How long is Chandler Jones going to play? And how long is he going to be productive coming off of this injury on the wrong side of 30? I would be willing to explore a trade for Chandler Jones. For me, I would look, I mean, the Cardinals fans that I've seen in my comments, they think that Daniel Jones is horrible, the Giants organization is horrible, and that they can get the best out of Evan Ingram. Listen, trade Evan Ingram there, give him a 3rd round pick, give him a 2nd round pick at most, and that's your compensation for Chandler Jones. But all of this giving a 1st round pick and a 2nd round pick, I just can't see giving those premium types of picks. I just can't see giving that up for the guy because he's coming off of an injury. Yes, he will be productive, but if the Giants were looked at right now to be a championship level team, sure, give whatever you have to give because all you really need is 1 year out of the guy because he could give you a shot at winning a championship. But if Chandler Jones gets here and he has 15 sacks and that opened up things for Leonard Williams and he has, 11 sacks and we have like the best pass rush in the league for some reason, is that going to translate us to being a Super Bowl team? Have we seen enough from Daniel Jones, enough from the offense in general to say that this team becomes a Super Bowl contender because we traded for Chandler Jones? You also have to consider this. We brought in Azeez Ojulari. We brought in Aaron Robinson. We brought in Adoree Jackson. We brought in Reggie Ragland. We have Ifeadi Odenigbo. We have all of these new players that we brought in. At what point? I mean, we lost Dalvin Tomlinson. At what point do you start to say, we're adding too much players? How is this defense going to play together? Do we have enough time for the chemistry to work out, for all of these players to be able to play together at a high level? That counts for something. Team chemistry and familiarity counts for something. He's going to have to come and learn the system. I would imagine I'd be pretty close to the Patriot system, so maybe he wouldn't have to work too hard, and that could be the argument against this. But I just don't think we should give away the farm for a pass rusher on the wrong side of 30. I would much rather take my chances with Azeez Ojulari. Next year, we got Thibodeaux coming out from Oregon, the pass rusher out of Oregon, Thibodeaux. Trade all of your picks at the top of that draft. If we have, a pick in the 20s, hopefully, and the Bears are picking in the top 10, package those 2 picks and a second-round pick next year, move up to the top of the draft, and take the best pass rusher in the draft. Look at the track record for these pass rushers. Chase Young hit. Joey Bosa hit. Nick Bosa hit. All of these pass rushers that Myles Garrett hit. All of these pass rushers that were supposed to be generational type pass rushers, every single one of them hit. Every single one over the past couple of years. So I have no problems going out and just trading the farm for a young pass rusher that's going to give you what a Chase Young or what the premier pass rushers in the league will give you. And he's going to do that over a longer period of time. You get pass rushers in the draft. That's really the best way that you can get them. Yeah, you can sign one and get lucky, but you get pass rushers in the draft. You let them develop in your system. You pay them when it's time to pay them, and that's that. Von Miller is going to retire. Well, he might not retire a Bronco now, but you don't see these pass rushers going anywhere until they're on the wrong side of 30. I mean, they usually play 7-8 years with their original team. They usually get that second contract, and then after that second contract, they end up leaving. Or, that's the only time they end up leaving. But trading a first and any other pick, or first and players for Chandler Jones seems a little bit too rich for me. I wouldn't do it. I really can't. I really couldn't justify giving that much up for him. But I do think that he will fit the scheme well. I do think that he will provide an instant impact. But let's let Azeez Ojulari develop. Let's wait for Thibodeaux. Let's wait for another pass rusher we can wait for coming out of this draft next year. We have a ton of picks to move up. If we really think that it's dire, there'll be opportunities in free agency. Who knows? Chandler Jones may be a free agent next year because this is the last year of his deal. And this is the biggest thing. He's owed $20 million. If we drafted him, or if we traded for him, we would have to extend him. And at that point, we're making a commitment to a player that we don't know how much he has left in the tank, because there's no way we get that $20 million under the cap. We would have to be able to extend him to get that number down. Or he would have to take a pay cut, which I highly doubt he would. So I just don't think that Chandler Jones to the Giants is a good move at this point, unless we're giving up things that we really don't need, like a third-round pick, Evan Ingram. That's pretty much what I would offer. Or a second-round pick in Ingram, I wouldn't be angry. But a third-round pick in Ingram, I think, is more than enough compensation for the situation that we'd be getting back. So you guys let me know, do you think that Chandler Jones should be traded for by the Giants? Or do you agree with me and just think that we probably don't need him right now, and we can continue to build this team through the draft with all of the picks we have next year? If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.